Has Pruvit been caught with their marketing schemes pushing exogenous ketones? Yeah, they have. The FTC's coming down on them hard. You're going to find out all the details here today on Jimmy Rants. Click on that little box down in the corner and you can watch this on IGTV. JimmyRants.com is the website. And as always, you can engage live in the content, but you got to go follow me. I'm over on Instagram. I am at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, engage live. Usually Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time is the hard time that we do this show. Sometimes I add in a 5 p.m. one, and guys, I have a ton of stuff I want to talk about. Since we spent a lot of time last week on fasting, I got a lot of backup of stories I want to talk about. So we'll probably have quite a few 5 p.m. Eastern ones this week, so stay tuned. And also on the weekends, I'm not real hard on the weekends. If I feel like doing one on the weekend, we'll just do it and not have any specific time. But always 11 a.m. Eastern time here on Instagram Live. We also simulcast over here on my Facebook page. So thank you guys for being here today. Finally, we also do the YouTube live stream. So thank you guys for watching here today on Jimmy Rants. If you missed the live, you can watch it on replay on IGTV. We also throw the past episodes up over on YouTube. Type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants, you'll find the show. Finally, we have all of the past episodes, 500 plus and counting, over at JimmyRants.com, the official website for this show. And while you're there, if you like what we do here and you get great value out of it, then show me some love. Click on that Patreon link, and it definitely helps us keep this going. I will never advertise to you here with products or anything like that. I might show you something like I love real salt from Redmond's, but they're not paying me to say that. So I don't do that kind of thing here. I want this to always be free, but if you feel like you get value out of it, then show me some love back. Click on the Patreon link, and whatever you do is helpful. So thank you in advance for that. Okay, you guys, I have a story here today that quite literally I have not heard anywhere else. And if you are in the keto space, no doubt you have already heard about this company. No doubt you have already probably been spammed in your DMs by one of the people who's selling this product. And let me preface all of this before we get into this specific thing with this specific company. I don't think the product itself is a bad thing. So what is the product? We're talking about exogenous ketones. So I remember back in 2012, I did a podcast with Dr. Dominique D'Agostino. He's one of the foremost ketogenic researchers out there. And one of Dom's areas of expertise has been for a very long time looking at the way ketosis can help, especially Navy SEALs and some others that need like enhanced brain health. So he's been looking at ketone salts and ketone esters and all of these things for a very long time. And I remember when I was interviewing him, again, 2012, long before even keto became a movement, he said, oh yeah, so we're looking into these things called exogenous ketones. And I was like, what in the world is that? He said, well, you can make them endogenously through carbohydrate restriction and eating more fat and blah, 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 nutritional ketosis. But you can also take in a salt which directly has beta hydroxybutyrate in it. And I'm like, really? He said, yeah, they're developing this exogenous ketones. He said, the problem is they're incredibly disgusting. Those salts are just gross to taste. So there's companies that are working on trying to improve the flavor and da-da-da-da-da. And I remember, this was 2012. The exogenous ketones companies didn't really start to come out till about 2015, 16. And so as early as 2012, I already knew about exogenous ketones. I was already convinced that they were right in the right circumstance for specific people. Specifically in Dom's research, the Navy SEALs and other people that needed enhanced brain power, probably in the absence of having food, wanting to have extra ketones for satiety and all that. Then later on my podcast, I had people talking about, oh yeah, so when we have Alzheimer's patients or other people with neurodegenerative types of conditions, it's helpful for those people. So anyway, on and on and on you can go about the purpose of exogenous ketones. So I want to state that very clearly up front. I'm not anti-exogenous ketones, but guys, I have long been anti the marketing of this stuff to the keto community. And you know who I'm talking about, and I've got their name right there in the notes. It's Pruvit. Pruvit is this company out there, Pruvit Ventures. And when they first came out, they were kind of the first ones on the market with the exogenous ketones. And they came out as a multi-level marketing company, an MLM, with the promise that if you consume their product, they will get you in ketosis in 59 minutes or less. Okay, so right away, I kind of went, all right, no, like you don't get into ketosis in 59 minutes or less. If you're drinking ketones, you might show ketones on a ketone measure. Like I've got a breath ketone device right here that detects ketones. You might show it up on that meter, but that does not mean you're in ketosis. I know people get confused about that. Well, if I take exogenous ketones, I'm in ketosis. No, you're not. You have ketones in your body. And I will tell you, having taken exogenous ketones, just to kind of see what the experience is like, I've also done ketone esters. When you take these products, you do get a boost in your ketosis or in your level of ketones in your body, but it's fleeting. Like if I took exogenous ketones right now and 1 hour from now, I go from like a 0.8 to a 1.8 on the blood ketones. Within 3 hours, I'm back down to 0.8 again, maybe even 2.5 hours. So they don't stay in your bloodstream for long. Now, targeted for exercise performance, there's some people that do that. You can also, like I said, if you have a neurodegenerative type of condition, maybe if you're fasting and you're trying to get through that little period of intense hunger, you take some exogenous ketones to try to calm that down. There's good uses for exogenous ketones. The problem is when they market this product as some miracle and they make health claims about it, yeah, you're walking on thin ice. And I have called them out publicly. I've called out the Pruvit company very publicly. I did attend one of their meetings where I got to observe how they indoctrinate people with this message about Pruvit. Guys, it was the worst kind of cult I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not kidding you. I am in this big arena long before COVID-19 when we didn't have to socially distance, but so many people packed in to this kind of arena. They had a big stage. People walked out on this little catwalk stage, and they were just like chanting all of these things. It was kind of surreal because I'm like, am I at like is there like a false messiah about to walk out? It was freaky. Like I really was scared for my life in there. Jesus, please don't take me back right now. But they were walking out and they'd go, Prove! And then all the people would yell back, Fit! Prove! Fit! And I'm going, okay, rah, 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 cheer, cheer, way to go. But okay, what's this have to do with anything? They were there supposedly to learn about exogenous ketones, learn why ketosis is important. And I came to the conclusion, talking to a lot of the leaders in Pruvit, that they were not interested in ketosis. They were interested in money. And if you are a part of the Pruvit cult, can I speak to you directly? And I'm calling them a cult by design, by the way. I'm not mincing my words. They don't give a crap about nutritional ketosis. Okay? They pretend like it, but they're only pretending so they can keep making money. And now the Federal Trade Commission is getting in on the action and saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. And unfortunately, they've been doing this for years, you guys, and I've been calling them out for years. But only now is the FTC getting involved because they're making health claims about COVID-19. Now, you don't do that. They're going to call you out. They're going to come after you if you try to make health claims about COVID-19. And I see Curtis over here. I do give a crap. Well, you do. And I'm not saying that the people in Pruvit don't give a crap. I'm telling you the leadership of Pruvit does not. Brian could not care less about nutritional ketosis if you threw him in the middle of the woods. He wouldn't. And I think you need to know that, and I'm going to give you the harsh reality. That is my job. My job is to educate you on things that are going on that aren't right. And I'm telling you, this Pruvit company is as evil as they come. If you've been caught up in that cult, please get out sooner than later. There are enough companies now that make exogenous ketones that you don't have to be involved in that cult anymore. And of course, then they also dangle the carrot of, look at all the money you can make selling our overpriced exogenous ketones. And that's the other thing. Pruvit's exogenous ketones are the most expensive ones on the market. You can get them much cheaper at retail from places like Perfect Keto. There's a lot of places that sell them now. Point being, you don't need to be a part of this company that's doing skeevy tactics. So let's talk about this FTC violation, because this is an official letter from the FTC. I got a copy of it because I have connections. And the Federal Trade Commission sent this in late April to the General Counsel for Pruvit Ventures. And it's titled, Warning Regarding Health and Earnings Claims Related to the Coronavirus Disease 2019, COVID-19. The FTC staff has reviewed social media posts made by Pruvit Ventures, known as Pruvit, business opportunity participants or representatives that unlawfully advertise that certain products treat or prevent COVID-19. They are also misrepresenting that consumers who become Pruvit business opportunity participants are likely to earn a substantial income. This letter is to provide you with information about the laws and the regulations enforced by the FTC that may bear upon your business activities, including all the activities of your business opportunity participants and representatives. So, if you are a Pruvit salesperson, if you're involved with Pruvit in any way, you need to listen to this, because this is serious. This is the kind of stuff I've been calling out for years now. And it's too bad, so sad that COVID-19 had to be the thing that got it on their radar screen. But it's here now. So they gave some examples in this letter. And again, if you just joined us, the Federal Trade Commission is coming down hard on one of the exogenous ketones companies that is a multi-level marketing company called Pruvit, because they're making health claims and business claims all about their product related to COVID-19. And it's just such a shame it had to wait till the coronavirus came around to come after them, but better late than never. All right, let's see what some of the claims are that they've made. So one of the social media posts said, "Got the coronavirus heebie-jeebies? Boost your immunity with this amazing deal." The image that accompanied the post showed Pruvit products beneath the phrase Immunity Boost Pack. Regardless of what your view is about the role of exogenous ketones in boosting the immune system, how skeevy is that? Like, how dirty is that kind of marketing? Like, I don't think we have to push Pruvit exogenous ketones as an immunity boost pack, boost your immunity with this amazing deal. They pretend like the only way you boost your immunity is by taking in exogenous ketones. Why don't you instead educate about vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, selenium, all these things, magnesium, all these things that are actual immune boosters that don't require you to shell out $5 to $6 a serving for your friggin' exogenous ketones that's overpriced and tastes disgusting. Like, seriously, I can see why the FTC is going, whoa, 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 slow your roll. This is part of the challenge in the health community, is we want to let people know there are things they can do to promote health, but unfortunately it's companies like this one that obfuscate the issue. And if they stay in their lane and only promote their products for what they are, okay, we're going to boost your ketone levels. That's what it does. Let's don't pretend like it's some kind of COVID-19 protection. And yet that's the insinuation they're trying to get. The next one they found that they thought was egregious. This breakdown of the coronavirus is really good. Some products you might be currently using for fat loss are also a benefit in helping your immunity. The Signal OS, which is the name of their exogenous ketone, enhances your natural immune function. The image accompanying the post showed Pruvit products beneath the phrase Immunity Boost Pack. So again, they're making the claim that if you want to boost your immunity, you want to have a natural immune protection against COVID-19, drink our ketones. Which, that's so stupid to me. It's like, drink your ketones. Okay, fine. How about I make them by, fasting, or by doing a very low carb, very high fat diet? The insinuation in the marketing is the only way you can boost your ketones and boost your immunity is by drinking these exogenous ketones. To which I say, no, if ketones are the answer, then I'll make all the ones that I need endogenously. Thank you very much. You see how it's skeevy marketing? The next one. Look at this one. With all the concerns over the COVID-19 coronavirus, instead of stockpiling on toilet paper, you need to be doing something to help yourself fight this virus. Boost your immune system with our Immunity Boost Pack. Use intermittent fasting in conjunction with our ketones, Signal OS caps, and MCT143. Order while supplies last. Hashtag immune support, hashtag immune system, hashtag immune boost, hashtag coronavirus, hashtag COVID-19. And then the image showed the product beneath the phrase Immunity Boost Pack. You know, before COVID-19 came around, they did not have an Immunity Boost Pack. They totally made that up as a marketing term when COVID-19 came around. And of course, all the people who sell the Pruvit products latched onto that really fast. Oh, yeah, Immunity Boost Pack. Oh, yeah, let's push that. And you've probably gotten DMs here on Facebook. There's a few of them on Instagram, but Facebook's where they were really aggressive. For a while there, they're like, you're the perfect person to push. I'm like, I'm the wrong person. You don't want to mess with Jimmy Moore. I will tell you how I really think when it comes to the Pruvit products. What's funny is they usually, when they do those tactics here on Facebook, they usually say, you want to have a business opportunity that's all about keto? DM me and we'll talk. Or click here and watch this video. I'm like, screw you. I usually send them a link to my post that I wrote where I call them out as a scam. I usually never hear from them again, amazingly enough. It's funny how that works. Let's look at the next social media post. I'm so excited for this. It's so important to keep your immune system up, but especially right now in the midst of the coronavirus spreading rapidly, you better health up as your top priority. Introducing our Immunity Boost Pack, full of technology to support you during this season. And then they show a picture of the Immunity Boost Pack. Do they even realize how skeevy this sounds? Do they realize that this is so unethical? It borders on comedy. I get it. Maybe in the heart of hearts of these people who sell this stuff, they truly believe they're doing the public a good service. But let's not pretend like your product is the be-all, end-all, and please do not invoke COVID-19 in the midst of it. And yet that's exactly what they're doing, and it's exactly why the FTC is coming down on them. All right, one more about the health claims. Protocol for study of virgin coconut oil and COVID-19. I have oil in stock if anyone needs some. It contains 60% lauric and capric fatty acids. They're well known to kill many viruses and are used in sprays, wipes, oral, and skincare products. Here is a protocol with rationale and how to use guidelines to supplement treatment for those who have COVID-19 and another guide for people to prevent it. It was developed by MDs, PhDs in the Philippines with my input and going under study at hospitals there. Direct lab testing of the virus is already underway. So here's someone who directly said the Pruvit virgin coconut oil will prevent and actually cure COVID-19. No. Like, I know we in the health world have beliefs about things that we do and things that we teach and say, but in the midst of a global pandemic, you do not use a pandemic to market products. You just don't. You can promote that you have products that you think could be healthy for people to have, but you don't attach it to a health claim that if you take this product, it will prevent and or cure anything. The FTC don't like that too well, and they are calling them out in this warning letter. All right, so some examples of the earnings claims. So they've already talked about the health claims. They're also bringing up the earnings claims as it relates to these uncertain times. A lot of people losing their job. This, to me, you guys, is cold and heartless. Because, and I noticed this right after COVID-19 hit and people started losing their jobs and there was slowdown in income. They were like, oh, well, I'm protected against COVID-19 hurting my business. You need to get in on my blah, 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 blah. And Pruvit did the same thing. There was a video titled, How to Make Money from Home with the New Pruvit Promo. And they had a statement. I can tell you that there's thousands of people that are currently out of work right now. They're all looking for a way to go earn some extra money. This is a great stimulus package because you get to teach somebody how you can go earn $1,730 literally in the first 10 days of the business. Can I tell you these MLMs are the scum of the earth? And I have been exposed to a lot of MLMs over the years. I've actually fallen prey to a lot of their tactics over the years, most of the time when I was much younger. In fact, there was one where there's this big green goop stuff. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was this big green goop stuff, and it literally would clean anything. And you'd sell it in big buckets, and the big bucket was like $500, but it literally cleaned everything. It was a degreaser, it was a sanitizer, it was a da-da-da-da-da. And so we were like carrying around these big buckets. Hey, come buy our big green goop stuff. And then they went belly up and took off with all our money. And you learn a lesson really fast in how MLMs work. Now, Pruvit has stuck around for a few years, but what would stop them from just closing up shop and leaving all those poor people all to their own? But no, they're throwing out there, we can help you earn $1,700 in the first 10 days of your business. Disgusting. There was another video titled Thriving in the New Economy, How to Build a Pruvit Business from a Top Income Earner. It had the description, with all these uncertain times we're living in, one thing we know for sure is that fortune favors the bold. People have nothing but time right now to level up and get better, to pivot and overcome or fall behind even more. So which way are you heading? In light of what's going on in the world right now, I've been able to create a very lucrative business that helps me literally live life on my terms. I live in a beautiful house in Nevada all by myself. It's a multi-million-dollar house. I drive a Tesla and I am debt-free. In light of what's going on, we want more people to jump in on this opportunity and to make money in all these uncertain times, but also realize that this is the future. Having skills to build an online business is not a bonus. At this point, it's a necessity. There's more job security online than in brick and mortar. $1, that's all it takes to start this business. Which can potentially make you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures a year. Imagine having financial freedom. Whatever that looks like to you, it is here. You're fully able to access that and tap into that. Does anybody like have a little bit of barf come up when you see people use this kind of tactic? And can I tell you how many times over the years, don't you want to be financially free? Don't you want to be able to buy a Lamborghini if you want one with cash? I am all about people taking advantage of opportunities. I am not anti-capitalism. I think capitalism is wonderful. But I think this kind of marketing of it is so gross. And then to do it under the auspice of, okay, you're out of work because of COVID-19, so this is your answer, this is your future, and you got to get your act together, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, bite me. And again, I think in their heart of hearts, a lot of people who push this kind of stuff, they're doing it with the sole purpose of their own self-interest. Remember, this is an MLM, so if somebody's promoting that, what they're promoting is, come under me so I can make money off of what you sucker people into buying. And multi-level marketing works where you get people underneath you so you get to leech off of them. And you got this whole pyramid scheme, and the people that are higher in the pyramid make the most money. But you're promoting a product under false pretenses, and then they're promoting the business of it all. It's just gross all around. Can I tell you, you as a keto dieter don't need to be consuming exogenous sources of ketones. You can make all the ketones you want. That's not to say that there aren't circumstances where those EKs can be helpful, as I mentioned at the beginning of this Jimmy Rants. But let's not pretend like there's millions and tens of millions of people that need to be taking exogenous ketones. For the most part, you don't. I can tell you when I take them primarily is on a day that I'm a little less rested and I know my ketones are going to naturally be lower and I have a lot of things to get done, I will take them. But I can tell you, it's been a long time since I've taken some. Probably 9 or 10 months since the last time I had EKs. I've got some, and I use them strategically, but it's not something I'm taking every day, and it's most certainly not something that I'm pushing on people in my work. If they're out there and you feel like you can get benefit, then go for it. But I'm not going to tell you, oh, you must take exogenous ketones if you're going to get into ketosis. I don't believe that. You want to get into ketosis, lower your carbs, moderate your protein, eat more fat. That is Jimmy Moore's strategy for getting more ketones. You don't need to drink them in an expensive drink. Okay, so then the FTC lays down the hammer on why all of those things that they found on social media are egregious and against the law. It is unlawful under FTC Act 15 U.S.C. 41 to advertise that a product can prevent, treat, or cure human disease unless you possess competent and reliable scientific evidence, including, when appropriate, well-controlled human clinical studies substantiating that the claims are true at the time they're made. They do not have those studies. Now, there are some studies of animals, like mouse studies, that look at exogenous ketones, and Dominique D'Agostino, who I mentioned earlier, is doing some of those studies. And they're doing a few human trials, but not enough to make any bold conclusion about whether you can actually say it prevents COVID-19 or it treats COVID-19. They have no such study out there. For COVID-19, there is no such study that we are currently aware of at the FTC to exist for these products that we identified above. Thus, any coronavirus-related prevention or treatment claims regarding such products are not supported by the scientific evidence. You must immediately cease making all of these such claims. I am so glad they're getting their butts called out. And this is, again, not the first time they have made health claims and made claims about ketosis. I have called them out in the past about their bad business practices, and the most egregious one was, we'll put you in ketosis in 59 minutes or less. I'm like, no, you will not. You might show ketones in my blood in 59 minutes or less, but you will not put me in ketosis. And then the other thing, the caveat on top of that is, drink our ketones and eat all the carbs you want. Are you crazy? Like, do we even know what drinking ketones, which will indeed raise your ketone levels, in the presence of carbohydrate, which will raise your blood sugar levels simultaneously, do we know what that high blood sugar and high ketone levels do in combination? You're messing with Mother Nature. You're messing with the natural ebb and flow that comes from nutritional ketosis. If you have lower ketones, you tend to have higher blood sugar. If you have lower blood sugar, you tend to have higher ketones. So what happens when you have high blood sugar and high ketones? Nobody knows. And therein lies the problem. Additionally, representations about a business opportunity, which includes earning claims, that violate Section 5 of the FTC Act 15 U.S.C. 41, if they are false, misleading, or unsubstantiated and material to consumers. Express and implied earnings claims must be truthful and not misleading to avoid being deceptive, which means the claims about the potential to achieve a wealthy lifestyle, career level income, or significant income are false or misleading if the business opportunity participants generally do not achieve such results. In other words, results not typical should have been the disclaimer on there somewhere. The person that talked about having a multi-million-dollar house and driving fancy cars and when most people who sell Pruvit barely can pay their bills and they're working their butts off trying to sell this stuff to people. And they need to tell people and be truthful to people that most people who sell this aren't becoming millionaires. Most people who sell this are lucky if they make a few $1,000s a month. And that's being generous if they made $1,000 or $2,000. That's the reality. And that's what the FTC is saying. You need to be truthful and don't pretend like you're casting this vision of becoming a multimillionaire selling ketone products when the reality is you're not. Even truthful testimonials from participants who do earn this significant income or more will likely be misleading unless the advertising makes it clear exactly what the amount earned is or lost by most participants. Now that's interesting, the lost part, because Pruvit does have this thing where you buy product directly from them. When you buy product, you get these little bucks that you could spend on free product, but you got to buy a crap load of product. And remember, this stuff is expensive, even in the wholesale. The founders of this company who run it, they're making a killing off of this just from the wholesale. And then the poor retail person has to mark it up in order to sell it. That's why it costs $5 to $6 on the end consumer. This is why these MLMs are skeevy. And Pruvit is the skeeviest of them all. Your business opportunity participants and representatives must immediately cease making all express and implied earnings claims that are false or misleading to any current or prospective participants. If you sell Pruvit, or if you've been tempted to try to get involved in the business, just be aware the FTC is coming down on them hard right now because they're making claims that they simply can't back up. And you need to know that. And guys, this is a company marketing to the keto community. I take personal vested interest in that community. That's my community. I want to say a bad word right now, but I'm going to mute myself. But you can imagine, don't blank with my community, because I will call you out. I created Jimmy Rants for the sole purpose of being able to talk about this kind of thing when it happens. So they finish up the rest of the letter. You are responsible for the claims of your business opportunity participants and their representatives. As the FTC had stated previously in January of 2019, the compensation structure of an MLM may create incentives for its participants to make certain representations to participants that are current or prospective. As a consequence, an MLM should direct its participants not to make false, misleading, or unsubstantiated representations and to monitor the participants so they don't make false, misleading, or unsubstantiated representations. I will tell you, when they made that whole, we'll get you into ketosis in 59 minutes or less, I went right to the top. Brian Underwood is the big head honcho at Pruvit. And I went straight to Brian, I looked him right in the eyes, and I said, they have to cool it with that kind of claim. That does not fly. Do not let them do it. You know what his response back to me was? Well, we can't control what individual sellers do, and so it's kind of out of my hands, Jimmy. There's really nothing we can do. And I'm like, screw that. You own the friggin' company. You can tell them, don't do that, or you're not allowed to sell our products anymore. Or if you find that they make a claim like this after you've explicitly told them not to, you cut off their account. They don't. They wash their hands of it as if, well, it's not my fault. We didn't say it officially from Pruvit, so oh well. And I wonder how they're going to respond to the FTC, because the FTC has the power to shut them down if they keep this up. You are advised to review all the claims relating to your products and business opportunity and immediately cease and require your business opportunity participants and representatives to also cease making any claims that are not supported by the evidence or substantiation that we described above. They needed to do this. This was again in late April, this letter came out. I just got my hands on it about 4 days ago. But late April, they said, within 48 hours, please reply via email to COVID-19 Task Force, and they gave the email address to the FTC that describes the specific actions that you have taken to address these concerns. If you have any questions regarding compliance with this FTC Act, please contact us. Sincerely, Federal Trade Commission staff. Guys, this is real. And I hate, again, that it took the COVID-19 pandemic for this to come out. But Pruvit, you are on the you-know-what list of the FTC, because you're making claims, both health claims and business claims, that just aren't true. And this is not new, keto community. They've been doing this for years. I've been calling them out. Others have been calling them out. Maria Emmerich, I know, calls them out. Lots of people call them out. And they need to know that we are on to them, and we will not let up on the gas pedal of holding their feet to the fire. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. I'm going to come over here to Instagram first, then over to Facebook, finally over to YouTube. So thank you all for being here today on Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. Let's see what you guys have to say about this topic. Linda says, I love it when you do 2 Jimmy Rants a day. Yes, sometimes I feel good and can do 2. Sometimes at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I am so tired that I just need to chill down. Mega says, my favorite ones are when they do reboot photos and you can see they're obviously sucking in their gut. Yeah, that's a skeevy routine that I see people do, even apart from Pruvit. Oh, look at the results I got from whatever their plan is, and you can see they're just relaxed in one photo and they're sucking in the second photo. It is very obvious, isn't it, Meg? Keto Court says, Signal OS was a vitamin pack that came out along with the ketones. Still don't like that they take advantage of vulnerability. Thank you for that clarification. Yeah, they have so many products now. When I was first watching them, it was just the exogenous ketones, but you're right, they do have quite a few different products now. Kat says, immunity and ketones? No. Low insulin and immunity? Yes. Usually ketones and low insulin come together, but not when your ketones are exogenous. Exactly. This is the thing. They think just the presence of ketones in the body is going to give you this boost of your immunity. But the boosting of the immunity is exactly right, Kat. Thank you for sharing that. It's the low insulin. And how do you get low insulin? It's not eating lots of carbs with the exogenous ketones. It's eating a low-carb, moderate protein, high-fat diet, nutritional ketosis, making your ketones endogenously, and through that, along with periods of fasting, you do lower your insulin and thus boost your immunity. It was called Signal Defense, I think, but it was a multivitamin to take along the ketones. Okay, good to know. That pandemic already been used in so many ways to scam people and make money with such weird products. Yeah. Keto Court says, I've always felt this way about taking advantage of people's desperation for weight loss. It gets vulnerable people, and it's sad. Well, we see that all the time in all kinds of things. It's almost like the lottery. The people that buy lottery tickets the most are poor people, because they pitch this idea that you can become a millionaire overnight. So these poor people who don't have a pot to pee in, as we say here in the South, are going out and spending $10 on 10 lottery tickets, and that $10 could have bought them some real food. But there's that allure that they could become a millionaire, and we're seeing the same thing with this kind of thing. Rachel says, Pruvit is taking advantage by bringing the weight loss industry to an actual healthy diet. They are tarnishing keto's name, and it's shameful. Rachel, I can't tell you how many people have written to me and said, well, I want to do keto, but I don't want to spend all that money on those on Pruvit products. And I'm like, why do you have to take Pruvit product? Well, I was told I can't be in ketosis unless I take their products. I'm like, lean in, because I'm going to teach you a few things about how you can get into ketosis without ever having to put an exogenous ketone in your body. Keto Jet says, I'm a type 1 diabetic with extreme high blood suckers. I think you meant blood sugars. I must check for ketones because of danger of ketoacidosis. That's the thing. When we have very high levels of ketones and very high levels of blood sugar because you're still eating carbohydrates, can't you artificially maybe force a little bit of ketoacidosis to happen even in a non-type 1 diabetic, but especially for someone like yourself? Bridget says, so Pruvit mentioned ketones help fight off COVID-19. They sure did, and I had the FTC letter. I'm sure you could go to ftc.gov and find this letter, but somebody sent this to me and they said, oh, did you see what the FTC did to Pruvit? But yeah, they're claiming that it will boost your immunity so you can fight off and cure things like COVID-19. So yes, Bridget, they did. They're skeevy as all get out. Bridget says, I can tell when someone sucks in their photos because their shoulders go up. That's probably true, Bridget. So thank you, Instagram. We're going to pop over here to my Facebook followers now. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here for this special Jimmy Rants. Good morning. Whoa, lots of comments. I had to scroll back a long way today. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about this. Happy Monday to you, Marianne. Bunch of people here. Say something, somebody. Rob says, I've been asked to join Pruvit. They sent me some samples. Don't work above nutritional ketosis. Yeah, that's the thing. If you eat a ketogenic diet, and I've noticed this too when I've taken exogenous ketones from multiple companies, but when you're pretty much in nutritional ketosis and I've popped like a 1.1, I'll take exogenous ketones and 1 hour later, I'll be at 1.2. So it doesn't really boost you above what your endogenous production is doing. Now, if you aren't ketogenic at all and you take these exogenous ketones, you'll go from like a 0.1 or 0.2 up to like a 0.8, 0.9 within an hour. And they say you're in ketosis at that point. And it's simply not true. Didn't you interview this Brian guy in 2015? I did. And it was shortly after that interview where my skepticism about that company started to rise. So, but yes, I did. Such a hard sell. They use celebrities and people like Dr. Ryan Lowry as the face of the business. Yeah, I haven't talked specifically to Ryan, but I know that he is involved in the company. He's done pretty well financially with them and several other people in the keto community. So that does make it difficult when those kinds of people are involved because they are respected in the keto community. I think that's incumbent upon all of us that are in the keto community that are disgusted by the kinds of practices that the FTC pointed out to let these people we love and respect know, hey, we don't think it's cool what the company's doing. Can you please distance yourself from them? And I don't know what kind of thoughts and conversations have taken place with people like Ryan, but certainly if enough of us write to him, he'll see that it's a real concern. Nancy says, I do occasionally use exogenous ketones from Perfect Keto and I need some energy or focus boost. I trust the Perfect Keto brand. I'm glad the government's finally going after Pruvit because those claims are dangerous. They are. Kira says, do you think vertigo is a symptom of the keto flu and would exogenous ketones help? Perhaps it's just dehydration or magnesium deficiency. I've never heard vertigo being a symptom of the keto flu, but literally the keto flu is a result of electrolytes being out of balance. So if exogenous ketones helped with that, I think it would be more the salt aspect of the ketones, exogenous ketones, than the ketones themselves. And certainly hydrating well and magnesium would help, but I've never heard of vertigo being a part of keto flu. Curtis says, Pruvit isn't making the claims, uneducated promoters are. No. I'm not letting you off the hook on that claim. Yes, uneducated promoters are, but who owns Pruvit? Brian Underwood and all the rest. They need to hold these people's feet to the fire. And if they allow these uneducated promoters, as you call them, to make such claims about their products, that now the FTC is coming down on Pruvit, it is incumbent upon Pruvit's corporate people to shut those people down fast. Okay? So don't come at Jimmy Moore and saying, well, that's not Pruvit making the claims. Yes, it is, because everybody that sells Pruvit products is a representative of Pruvit. And Brian knows that. And he, to my face, told me, well, we can't control all the claims that are made out there. The hell you can't. And you should. Or the FTC is going to take action against you. Nancy said I had to block a lot of these people on my Facebook account. They are ruthless. Rob says they just launched in the UK and Europe, hitting the vulnerable, a typical MLM, and it makes me uncomfortable. It's unfortunate that people are getting sucked into this. I'm hoping my Jimmy Rants is a part of the education process that will keep people away. Curtis says, you're right, Pruvit tries to police it, and every promoter signs off that you don't make medical claims. Well, you can say, well, this is not a medical claim, but, well, we know this will boost your immunity. And if they want to promote that it boosts your ketones, I'm good with that. It does boost your ketones. If they want to claim that if you're trying to be healthier, you want to try to get more ketones in your body, that's kind of stretching the truth, but okay, I'm good with that. Don't talk about immunity. Don't talk about weight loss. Don't talk about being in ketosis. Those are the skeevy terms, and most certainly don't talk about curing and preventing COVID-19, because that's what's got the ire of the FTC. Tammy says, I won't follow anyone selling Pruvit, nothing but a money-making scheme. Tammy, I did the same thing. Anybody that follows me over here on Instagram, and I go to their profile page and I see the Pruvit website, I immediately turn down their request to be my friend. So if that's you, well, you're not watching if that's you, but if that's you and I turned you down, you know why. I can't in good conscience support those people who are promoting this skeevy company that they're making tens of millions of dollars off of innocent people that think they're helping people. They think their mission in life is to promote drinking ketones to get healthy, and they don't realize they're being a part of a huge scheme. Tammy says no one needs exogenous ketones. No one. You're right. No one needs them. That's true. Tracy says, I think that it sends the wrong message to people that don't know better. It makes people think this is the only way to do keto and that keto is too expensive. That's true. This product is so expensive, and then they prey on people wanting a quick fix without changing their lifestyle. Oh, Tracy, you just hit on a big reason why exogenous ketones are popular. People think it's a shortcut to ketosis. Guess what the shortcut to ketosis is? Cut your friggin' carbs, moderate your friggin' protein, eat some more friggin' fat, fast a little bit, and guess what? Bippity boppity boo, you got quick ketones. That's the way to do it. Not some $5 drink that's gonna be peed out within 3 hours. I hope they shut them down once and for all, says Tammy. Well, if they keep pulling this stuff, and they send them a warning letter. The warning letter is first. After the warning letter, Tammy, comes the hammer. Rob says, can you comment on the fact Dr. Lowry, yeah, I just talked about that just a moment ago. Go reach out to Ryan Lowry if you feel like he needs to remove himself from that company. He is a good personal friend of mine, and I have expressed my concerns to him. But if he hears from enough of us, then maybe he will change his mind. Curtis says, I've been keto for over a decade. Exogenous ketones can help. It's not necessary, but it is beneficial for some. At least it was for me. It has been for many of my friends. False claims made by promoters will get called out by the Pruvit community. Promoters have had their businesses taken down. Well, that's all well and good, and I think that's great, Curtis. Thank you for giving your input on that. But they need to call out all of them, because all of these claims that the FTC put in their thing here, last couple of months. So if there's people still making these claims, it's almost like one of the requirements they need to do to anyone selling their product is you have to accept a friend request on social media by the bigwigs at the corporate office for Pruvit. Because that way they can monitor whatever you say. And the moment you post something that is out of line, you're going to get a phone call from them that says take it down immediately, or we're going to revoke your ability to sell. That's how they would end this. So I do not put this on the individual sellers anymore. Yes, they are culpable, but the corporate has to shut this down or it will never get shut down. Preach on, says Tammy. Kira likes bippity boppity boo. I've been watching too many TikTok videos where they do that little, where they transform into bippity boppity booyah. Curtis says, you've been a great source of info. I agree with a lot of what you say. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for watching Jimmy Rants. All right. Thank you, Facebook. Although Jenny says, hi, I'm new. I hope you enjoyed your sabbatical. I'll check out your past posts. Thanks for your work. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for being here. All right. Hey, YouTube, what's going on? See what you have to say about this one. Shirley's like, this should be good. I hope it was good. Good information. Katrina says, catching you on YouTube this time. Well, welcome. Sherry says, exactly, but body not utilizing the ketones. Thank you, Sherry. Yes. So that's right. If people are taking exogenous ketones, those ketones are in your blood. That doesn't mean your body's taking them in for the various purposes that ketones would serve. Shirley says, someone from that company tried to sell to my mom. Luckily, she came to me before she tried it. I talked sense into her, and now she does carnivore. Yeah, and I think the aggressiveness by which they come after people is a huge turnoff. Like, okay, great, you've got this product. Why do you have to come after people and use these like allures of making big money? I'll tell you, I went to the big meeting for Pruvit to observe, but I also was at a smaller regional meeting that was local to me because I'd heard they were coming in the area. And I snuck in the back just to kind of listen and everything. Most of the conversation was not describing ketones and all that. Most of it was casting this vision of the millions upon millions of dollars that you could make. You could transform your family's life forever. And I'm going, okay, I know that's MLM speak, but yeah, why don't you tell people about the product? Are we selling the product or are we selling the business opportunity? And this is the problem with Pruvit as well. They care more about the business opportunity, which again, I'm a capitalist. I'm a big fan of capitalism. People make money, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Do it ethically, but I'm a big fan of that. Not a big fan of trying to make people pretend like that if you join this company, you're going to become a millionaire. and yet they say it all the friggin' time. All right, let's come back over here to Instagram, see if there's any more comments, and there are none. So, guys, so hopefully today, if you've been caught up in hearing about the Pruvit cult, Pruvit, the company that sells exogenous ketones, they are a cult, by the way. I will keep calling them a cult, and if you don't like me calling Pruvit a cult, they need to stop acting like a friggin' cult. Vultures. Pick your poison of what to call them, but they are not good for the keto community. And we, as good people in this community, need to call out companies like this, which is what I did here today on Jimmy Rants. And the FTC, they don't want to mess with the FTC. The FTC will shut them down. Making Micah Fit says, I felt the same way. I went looking for info on drinking ketones, got nothing but info on making money. Even when I asked the salesperson, I couldn't really get info on what drinking ketones would do. That's the problem. That's the problem. A lot of people selling these exogenous ketones, they don't know anything about nutritional ketosis. To which I think in my mind, okay, if you know about nutritional ketosis, why would you be selling exogenous ketones? Now I get it, there's people that could get benefit from it, but it's a very small portion of the society. The people promoting exogenous ketones tend to be people that don't have a flipping idea what nutritional ketosis is. And the few Pruvit sellers that I do know about nutritional ketosis, I've told them my concerns about the marketing, and they're just like, yeah, we don't like it either, but it's just a part of this business. And I'm like, there's other ways to make money besides this company here. Well, yeah, but we're kind of comfortable and da-da-da. Oh, okay. Made a deal with the devil, but that's what they choose to do. But hopefully this FTC warning about all the marketing claims about health and marketing claims about the business opportunities and all related to COVID-19, like thank God COVID-19 happened and this brought it to the attention of the FTC. They've been making these claims long before COVID-19 came around. This is not brand new. So that's the funny part of all this is it took COVID-19 for them to write them a warning letter. They should have wrote this warning letter years ago. Linda says, this was such good info. Glad you called them out. I learned early in life that you don't go near those kind of pyramid scheme companies. You do not. And again, if you want to be a part of one of those companies and make money, fine, but just know you're dealing with the devil. And Pruvit is the biggest devil of them all. That's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. And as always, you can engage live in the content, but you got to go follow me right here, Instagram, at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, engage live. We do go live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes we throw in 5 p.m. Eastern during the week, and on the weekends, just whenever I feel like it, if I decide to do them at all. So check it out. We also simulcast over here on my Facebook page. So thank you guys for being here today. Finally, we also simulcast on my YouTube live channel. So thanks for being here, you guys. My Jimmy Rants family, all in the house. Thank you for being here today. If you missed the live here on Instagram, you can watch it on replay on IGTV. So be sure to check that out. We'll put it up here on my page shortly after we end the show here today. We also put the past episodes up over on YouTube. This one right here will be up on YouTube within the next hour. Just type in a keyword Jimmy Rants and you will find the show. Finally, go over to JimmyRants.com. That is the official website for this show. And you can see all the past episodes housed there as well. And if you like the show and you like what we do here and the information you get value out of it. I'm a big believer that if you get value out of someone, then you give value back to those people. So I do have a Patreon page if you feel like you get some value out of what I do here on Jimmy Rants. Well, guys, that's it for now. We'll be back again real soon. Bye. All right.